Welcome guys, John's Football Channel. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is my preview to Portugal versus Croatia. This game is a very big game for both teams. If we look at the possible games they could verse in the next round after the last 16 and probably in the quarters, you would think this is probably one of the hardest games that could be for both teams. So obviously this is not a light game that they can take lightly for both teams, and they definitely have to go with a very good squad. So let's have a look at the squads and let's analyze on how the both teams will be shaping up. For Croatia, to start off with, obviously they're playing probably will play with Lovovic in goal, Gravalio on the left back, Promogic, Stupel as the centre backs, Stadicic on the right back, and then Kovacic and Modric as the two CDMs to help and protect, and then Pristic as the left wing, Suchek as the midfield, as the cam, and then Vlasic as the right wing, and then ahead of them they went with Blutmir as the striker. So as it stands, it looks a very decent squad with the likes of Modric and Kovacic to do the dirty work, the likes of Modric to find the passes, Modric more to sweep up and keep the defense very well protected. And then we know that we have the likes of Vlasic and Peristic to actually to do the job there. We know that they have some quality in attacking areas to actually hurt Portugal. It is a question of are they good enough? We know that Portugal also this year going into the World Cup, I have a very good squad, and I think they're able to actually they should be able to do a job against these other teams that are having very good attacks and a very good front three. So I think as much as Croatia would have the work out cut out to actually go past the defenders, I think the same thing can be said for Portugal to actually also look out for their attack and actually be very careful, especially with the quality players that they have in this Croatia team. So if we look at Portugal, obviously they have Costa in goal. They'll probably have Cancelo as the right back, Diaz and Renato Vega again as the centre backs, and then Nuno Mendes as the left wing and as the left back, and then we have probably Neves or Vitinha, or then we might see João Neves as well. We have seen him in the last previous game. Then we'll see Pedro Neto, Bruno Fernandes. It is debatable if we'll see João Felix. I'll let you know down in a minute, and then probably Ronaldo up front as well. That's also another question. With João Felix and Ronaldo, I would like to think that for this game we would probably play with Cancelo on probably as the right wing, and then we move over Pedro Neto on the left, and then we have Ramos ahead of Bruno Fernandes, not Ronaldo. I think, especially for this game, I think we need to be very tactical, very defensive as well, and I think there's no need for us to over analyze and over complicate our team already. I think João Felix is leaving gaps because you're trying to protect Ronaldo in certain aspects of the game, where Ronaldo is not being able to cover and actually press and actually being the man to actually press from the attacking areas. And I think it will be a very better option for Portugal if we went with Cancelo or another winger, Guimaraes, or any other winger that we probably might have, or even another midfielder that can play the likes of a winger role and actually protect Nuno Mendes on that side, because I think in the last game we saw that there was gaps with Nuno Mendes. And I think, especially with this game, if there is someone protecting Nuno Mendes, Mendes needs to stay as a left back. He cannot be playing left wing back, leaving pockets for strikers and wingers to be able to be in his position and in around those areas and actually hurting us from there, because that's where we're really going to be punished, especially against Croatia. We cannot take them for granted. We cannot go easy on them. We need to be ruthless from the get-go. And then if we look at some form going into this game, obviously Portugal have won 3, drawn 2. We've scored in only 4 games. We've only not drawn against the last game was a 0-0 against Colombia. So now it's a thing of can we change that? Can we actually replicate that and actually turn it into a win against Croatia? Then also, as we saw with England only losing to DR Congo, it is a thing of How do you guys see it? Do you see DR Congo as probably not the most easiest team to actually beat in a game? Or is it another thing of Portugal and England where actually I like to see it as that Portugal and England are very, very good teams. But I think you have to put your respect to DR Congo as well and say that they actually put up a fight as well and actually are good enough to be along these teams that are in the World Cup right now. And we'll soon see where their path ends, or if they continue to go to the semis and the quarters. But yeah, I think they do deserve some respect, and I think especially with this game against with England, that they nearly went out that game with a win. I think it shows you to the quality how they're able to be solid at the back, as well as be able to as much as be solid and not allow all the pressure to be on you, but also be able to serve it and actually put the pressure on the likes of Portugal, put the likes of pressure on England actually to perform and actually do a job against these other big teams around him. Then for Croatia, they obviously have 3 wins, 2 losses. Their 2 losses coming against England and Belgium. So they also have their work cut out for this fixture to actually continue the momentum. Their last game, I think they won against Ghana, which was 2-1. And also previously they won 1-0 against Paraguay. And then if we had to look at some players that we could see to compete, I think it would be unfair to put Stuchik against Ronaldo. Obviously, I think Modric is the most complete player and one of the best players to actually compare Ronaldo to, because I think he is one of the best players in the Croatia team. So I think he deserves to be in this conversation and actually have analysis against the two, to actually see who dominates this game and actually who will come the better player and who will be able to turn the game around for their teams. Let me know down below what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this game? What are your formation? How do you see the game going? And is there any other inputs that you might see that the normal neutral person might not see going into this game? And what do you expect to happen as well going into the game? And where do you see the game ending? Do you see it probably ending in a draw and then possibly going to quarters to extra time and then penalties, or do you see it finishing in 90 minutes? Let me know down below what you guys think and comment down below. And then if we look at some insight, obviously both teams scored in their previous 6 matches against with the games of Portugal and Croatia meeting each other. And then obviously we know that Portugal ranked 21st for expected goals for this World Cup. So it shows you that Portugal's shooting and goal scoring is not right there and it's not clicking. And I think that is actually a shocker, and it shows you where Portugal is right now and shows where they still need to go to. We know that Portugal have some quality. Maybe the quality is wrapped in good gifts. Maybe we actually don't. Maybe it just looks like a good play. But if you actually had to analyze them and actually take them man for man, maybe they don't actually as good as we may perceive them to be. I would like to think Pedro Neto is decent. I wouldn't say he's the best at all, but I do see him as a decent winger. And I think the one thing that goes for him is his pace. Like most wingers, I think most wingers who are very, very fast, they tend to be very, very good, and they look good because of their pace. Their pace protects them. So that's definitely something that we need to fix with the goals. I would hope for the likes of João Felix, the likes of Ramos, the likes of Ronaldo, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, the likes of probably in the midfield, Jean Neves, like he's done before, like the likes of probably Nuno Mendes, to get into the goals and actually contribute and actually get some goals for Portugal going into this World Cup. And then if you take a look at Croatia, obviously Croatia reached the World Cup final and semi-finals in the last 2 tournaments. So they're obviously not to be taken lightly. They obviously know more or less what needs to be done. They know the levels that they need to get to in order to compete and go through to the next round. Croatia recovered from a 4-2 opening loss to England with a back-to-back wins. So we'll soon see if that means anything with a very big team against Portugal. I think that would be a very, very good test to see, have them actually flip the switch and actually now are the team that should be in the conversation to actually win the World Cup. Because we all know, I think most people that are out there, we would obviously thought of Germany, probably the Netherlands with the squad they have, probably France is definitely in the conversation, England's definitely in the conversation. I would like to think Portugal is also in the conversation. So we'll soon see, does Croatia also deserve to be in that conversation? I haven't heard much people talking about Croatia actually winning it. We do see them probably winning, probably getting to quarterfinals and semis. But now obviously Portugal are playing Croatia, so now it's either or. Either Croatia win or Portugal does. So we'll have to see what happens then, and how does it actually play out, and actually who goes to the next round. Modric reaches their 200th caps during the group stages, joining an exclusive club of 4 players. I'm sure that's Modric, that's Messi, that's Ronaldo, and I think it's one of the goalkeepers for one of the countries. I think that's the four players that have reached their caps, and a very, very good number of caps for their country. So obviously now whoever wins this game is going to be playing either Spain or Austria. I have a small little feeling that Austria somehow might get a result. Not to say that they're definitely gonna, but I think there's a very, very small chance and a good chance that Austria do make an upset and actually beat Spain tonight as well. They are currently being playing, and we'll soon see what happens after the game is said and done. And then if you look at the last 5 meetings between Croatia and Portugal, Portugal have won 3 games, lost 1 and drawn 1. So we obviously, in terms of these stats, in terms of the last previous games, we are having a better advantage going into this game in terms of mentality. I think it's not a very big thing to look at, but I think to an extent, I mean, it is something to consider and something to analyze, that we are the favorites to win this tie, and the only thing we can do is to continue that momentum and actually get the job done on the night. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what your score lines will be for this game. I'm gonna go with 2-1. I do think they do score. I think they score. I think they score probably. Portugal probably will score first, then they score, and then somewhere in the second half, when we probably bring another 1 or 2 players from the bench, I think that's when we score the last game, the goal, and actually make it into the next round. Let me know down below what you guys think. Do you guys see this guy probably going to penalties? It'll be a very, very interesting game to see if that actually does happen and it unfolds like that. I don't think penalties actually are the worst things to happen. I think most fans do enjoy a penalty shootout after a very good game of end-to-end football. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you guys' scoreline will be for this game. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Portugal, and peace.